Today's story is of Nirbhaya, a tale that compelled people to ponder how someone could commit such heinous act. This story shook the people to their core. It's the story that united the entire nation in one voice after hearing it. It's about a girl who, before December 16, 2012, was known only to a few, but became known to every household after the incident. Everyone wanted to know how she was doing. So, let us start the video. But before starting the video, please do not forget to subscribe my channel and press the bell icon for the notification. The story begins on December 16, 2012, with a 23-year-old ordinary girl who was a psychotherapy student. On that day, she went out with her friend Avnendra Pratap, who was a software engineer. On a Sunday, as it was their day off, the young woman and her friend made a plan to watch a movie. She resided in the Dwarika area of Delhi. Around 3:30 p.m. on December 16, 2012, she left her home informing her family that she would return in 2 to 3 hours. She met her friend Avnendra Pratap and together they hired an auto from Dwarika to Saket, heading to the renowned mall known as Select City Walk. Upon arrival, they opted to see the movie Life of the Pi. They purchased tickets for the evening screening scheduled from 6:40 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. As the movie was about to begin, they entered the theater and commenced watching the film. Meanwhile, approximately 7 kilometers away, 6 men were consuming alcohol inside a house. Among them, 4 were bus personnel. One served as a driver, another as a conductor, and 2 were helpers. During their drinking section, they chose to take the bus out for a joyride, an illegal act after alcohol consumption. Despite this, they embarked onto the bus and began driving through the streets of Delhi. At around 8:30 p.m., they arrived at vegetable market in Munirka. One of the individuals started calling out from the bus window, indicating a route to Kanpur. Ramadar, an employee at a wood shop in Munirka, responded to this and boarded the bus as he needed to travel in that direction. Once seated, the bus proceeded, but soon after, they informed him that the bus was not heading to Kanpur but instead to Nehru Place. When Ramadar tried to alight, they forcibly restrained him and began robbing him. Despite his resistance, the 5 men assaulted him while the 6 continued driving the bus. They took his mobile phone and 1,500 in cash, then ejected him from the bus near the IIT flyover before speeding away. At the same time, around 8:30 p.m., the girl and her friend left the theater after watching the movie. They looked for an auto to return home but couldn't find one willing to go to Dwarika. The one who agreed demanded an exorbitant fare and refused to use the meter. Eventually, they found an auto that agreed to drop them at Munirka bus stop. They left the Select City Walk at around 8:45 p.m. and reached the bus stop in about 10 to 12 minutes. They waited there for their bus, planning to take the bus number 764 to Dwarka. As they were waiting, around 9 p.m., a white chartered bus arrived and a man inside was calling out for the passenger to Dwarika and Palam mode. Since it was getting late, they decided to board this bus. They sat in the second row, leaving the front seat empty, and the bus started moving. This white bus was the same one that the 6 men who had been drinking were operating. A short while earlier, they had also committed a robbery on the bus. The 6 individuals already aboard were Ram Singh, the bus driver, Mukesh Singh, Ram Singh's brother, who worked as a bus helper, Akshay Kumar, the bus cleaner, Pawan Gupta, and Vinay Sharma. Although Pawan Gupta and Vinay Sharma were not employed on the bus. They were very good friends with driver Ram Singh and resided in the same area. The sixth person on the bus was Raju, who was not associated with this individual. He had met all five of them on the same day, the afternoon of December 16, 2012. When the boy and the girl asked for the tickets, the group did not give them the tickets, but instead they charged them 10 rupees as a fare. Around 5 minutes later, when the bus reached the nearby Malai Temple flyover, they closed the doors and turned off the bus lights. After that, three of them approached the couple and started making lewd and vulgar comments. They even started abusing them. Hearing this, the girl's friend got angry and started to oppose them. The three men then started beating the boy. Seeing this, the girl took out her phone and tried to call the police by dialing 100, but the men snatched her phone as well. The other two men also took out the iron rod and began to assault the boy severely. When the girl tried to save her friend, they started assaulting her as well. They also stole their purses, mobile phones, debit cards, and watches. They even stripped them naked. When the boy became almost unconscious due to the beating, they took the girl to the back seat of the bus and then, one by one, all of them raped her. During this ordeal, the bus was constantly running on the streets of Delhi. The bus driver was changing intermittently, and these six men were gang raping the helpless girl. It was such a brutal incident that one of them even inserted an iron rod into the girl's private part. For nearly an hour, these six men tortured the girl physically and mentally, leaving no part of her body untouched. The girl kept screaming for help, but her voice couldn't reach anyone amidst the traffic noise. When the criminal was satisfied, they tried to throw the boy out of the bus through the rear door, but it wouldn't open because it was jammed. Then they dragged both of them to the front of the bus near the Mahipalpur flyover, where there was a deserted place with the bush. Then they threw both of them out of the bus from the front door and tried to run over them with the bus. But the boy, who was somewhat conscious, managed to pull the girl to the safety just in time, narrowly avoiding being crushed by the bus. After that, these criminals quickly fled the scene. On the night of December 16, in the bitter cold of Delhi, they were lying blooded by the roadside with no clothes on and barely any life left in them. Yet the girl's friend gestured for help, somehow continuously signaling to passing vehicle. Many vehicles passed by and some people stopped after hearing the boy's cries for help, but no one extended any assistance. Still the boy kept waving his hand and shouting for help. During this time, Rajkumar, a man working at the National Highway Toll Plaza patrolling on his motorcycle, was passing through that area around 10:10 p.m. He heard cries for help, so he stopped his bike. When he saw the boy and the girl in the bushes by the roadside, he asked them what had happened. The girl was unable to speak due to her condition, so the boy narrated everything to him. Rajkumar then goes to the other side of the road where there were hotels and bought back a blanket from there. He then cut the blanket into two pieces and gave them to both of them so that they could cover themselves. After that, they called the police at 100. A PCR van arrived at around 10:30 p.m. They were both from the different police station, so instead of helping the boy and the girl, they were arguing about which jurisdiction the area where the boy and the girl were found fell under. However, their top priority should have been to quickly take both of them to the hospital. After the jurisdiction dispute was settled, a Delhi police van took both of them to Safdarjung Hospital emergency ward around 11 p.m. Upon reaching the hospital, when the doctor saw the condition of the girl for the first time, even their hands and feet swelled because they had never seen anything like this in their career before. The girl's condition was so bad that even the doctor couldn't understand how and from where to connect them. After this news reached the higher authorities of the police, DCP Chaya Sharma from the South District herself went to Safdarjung Hospital to assess the situation. When the doctor informed her about the girl's condition, DCP Chaya Sharma was also stunned. After hearing about the brutality that the girl had suffered, DCP Chaya Sharma realized that this case was very sensitive and any delay could jeopardize the case. Because the initial 24 hours of any incident are very important, DCP Chaya Sharma immediately started the investigation. On the night of December 16th and 17th, she summoned her most capable officers to the hospital and formed 3 to 4 teams. Then, on the same night, the statement of girl's friend Avnendra Pratap were also recorded, and around 5:30 am, a complaint was filed against it at Vasant Vihar police station. After hearing about the entire incident, the police first task was to find the bus where the incident occurred because finding the bus could lead to the further clues. Then the police asked Avnendra Pratap about the description of the bus. He said that it was a white bus with a yellow and green strip on both the side and Yadav written on it. Delhi police received the information about the bus, but finding such a bus in the entire city of Delhi was very difficult because who knows how many white buses with yellow and green strips on both the sides are there, and no one knows how many buses have Yadav written on them. It was like finding a needle in a haystack. However, apart from this, there was no other clue. The police team reached the Munirka bus stop first, where the girl and her friend had boarded from the bus, but no evidence was found from there. Then the police reached the spot in Mahipalpur where both of them were thrown out of the bus. When the police reached there, they saw that there were many hotels on the other side where they were thrown out, and there were CCTV cameras installed in those hotels. So the police started collecting the CCTV footages from each of those hotels. However, they were unsuccessful. Finally, the police reached the hotel Delhi 37 where they analyzed the CCTV footage. Even in that footages, the police saw many white buses, but their hopes were dashed when they saw that a white bus with Yadav written on it had passed through that same place twice within 20 minutes on that night of December 16, 2012. This made the police suspicious about the bus. After this, the Delhi Police Transport Department reached there and extracted the details of the bus. Through that, they reached the owner of the bus. When they reached there, they found out the bus number, but even the owner did not know where the bus was currently parked. In the meantime, the police received the information from their informers that the bus was currently standing in the Ravidas camp area of Sector 3 in RK Puram. Upon receiving this information, the police immediately reached the Ravidas camp and found the white bus near the Gurudwara. This bus had a yellow and a green strip on both the side and Yadav written on it. As soon as the police approached the bus, they saw a man sitting inside. As soon as the man saw the police, he got off the bus and started running. The police also chased him, and after a while they caught him. After checking his document, it was found that he was the driver of the bus, Ram Singh. It was a huge success for the Delhi police because one of the suspects was already in their hand the next day after the incident. After identifying Ram Singh, the police officially arrested him at 4:15 p.m. on evening of December 17, 2012. The bus that was found in Ravidas camp was also taken to the Tughlaq Road Stadium the same evening. That a team of CSFL collected fingerprint and air sample from the seat of the bus for further investigation. On the evening of December 17, 2012, when the police brought the bus driver Ram Singh to the station for questioning, at first Ram Singh feigned innocence. But when the police began investigating his accomplices, he spilled the beans. Following this, a police team was dispatched to Rajasthan, another to Bihar, and yet another team arrived the next day, that is on December 18, 2012, to bring Ram Singh back to Ravidas camp in RK Puram. Around 1:15 pm, the second suspect, Pawan Gupta, was apprehended from Ravidas camp, and about 15 minutes later, around 1:30 pm, the third suspect, Vinay Sharma, was also nabbed. Later that day, the team from Rajasthan bought Mukesh Singh, Ram Singh's brother, from Karauli village of Delhi around 6:30 pm, officially arresting him. Thus, within 48 hours of the incident, Delhi police had apprehended 4 out of 6 of the suspects. This deserved praise for their swift action, demonstrating that with honesty and diligence, catching any culprit is not impossible. Meanwhile, as the news of the incident spread and the people learned about the brutality inflicted on the victim, the entire nation was shocked. People could not believe that such a heinous act was possible. Upon hearing the statement of the victim, where she expressed her desire to leave and urged not to spare her attackers but burn them alive, the media named her Nirbhaya, which means fearless. Demonstration demanding justice for Nirbhaya erupted across Delhi, including at India Gate. Candles were lit for Nirbhaya's well-being, and everyone prayed for her speedy recovery. This demonstration increased pressure on the police, leading to intensified effort to apprehend the remaining 2 suspects, Akshay Kumar and Raju. The police team, which was sent to Bihar to catch Akshay, had already identified his whereabouts and were waiting to catch him, while Raju remained elusive. Raju was revealed to be the most brutal attacker against Nirbhaya. It was imperative to capture him, which is why police sought Ram Singh's cooperation. Unfortunately, Ram Singh had no information about Raju. He only mentioned that Raju owed him money and had contacted him around 4 months ago. Upon investigating Ram Singh's call history, the police traced Raju's number to a PCO. From there, they tracked Raju to Anand Vihar bus terminal, where they discovered that several people with the name Raju worked on the small bus routes. With no photograph, police faced difficulty in identifying him among the many individuals named Raju. Ultimately, they bought 10 individuals named Raju who resembled the description to Ram Singh, but none of them turned out to be Raju. The police arrived at Anand Vihar bus stop again and checked all Rajus who were there, but they couldn't find the one they were looking for. After increasing their efforts, they discovered that there was still 2 Rajus who had not been checked yet. Both the Raju had left on different bus, one towards Noida and other towards Gurgaon. It was known that both the buses would return the next morning. Therefore, the police decided to wait at the Anand Vihar bus stop for the next morning. The date was 21st December 2012. As soon as the bus arrived at Anand Vihar bus stop, they found Raju and brought him to Ram Singh. Ram Singh confirmed that this was the same Raju who was present on the bus on the night of 16th December 2012. They also found a mobile phone with Raju, which he had stolen from a person named Ramadar on that night. When the police investigated further, they found out that the real name of this person was not Raju, but Mohammad Afroz. It was also revealed that he was a minor because at that time he was 17 years old. Therefore, the police had to hand over Mohammad Afroz to the Juvenile Justice Board. On the same day, around 9:15 pm, the police arrested the 6th and the final accused, Akshay Kumar, from Aurangabad, Bihar. By 21st December 2012, Delhi police had apprehended all 6 accused in this incident. The most crucial task at that time was to gather evidence because evidence could lead to their conviction. Clothes, shoes, purse, mobile phones, rings and ATM card were recovered from 6 individuals which they had stolen from Nirbhaya and her friend, at that night. Their fingerprints were matched with those found on the bus. The blood samples of all the suspects were taken and the DNA matching was done with the sample collected from the bus and the victim. Furthermore, Delhi police had used a new forensic technique called odontology for the first time in this case. Odontology identifies individuals based on dental imprints because everyone's dental imprints are unique. Since several bite marks were found on Nirbhaya's body, photos of the marks were taken and a model of the suspect teeth were prepared. Then, both were matched, revealing that at least 3 of the bite marks belonged to driver Ram Singh and 1 mark was close match. Apart from this evidence, statements from Nirbhaya's friend Amnendra Pratap was also recorded. However, as the time passed, Nirbhaya's condition deteriorated with many organs failing and infection spreading throughout her body. It was decided to transfer her to Mount Elizabeth Hospital in Singapore, which is one of the world's best organ transplant hospital. The Indian government assured that all the expenses for her treatment would be borne by the government. On 27 December 2012, Nirbhaya was taken to Mount Elizabeth Hospital in Singapore and her treatment began. Unfortunately, despite medical efforts, Nirbhaya's condition continued to worsen and on 29 December 2012, around 12:15 am Indian time, she succumbed to her injuries. This tragic event sparked anger and protest against the country demanding justice for Nirbhaya. Consequently, new laws were passed for the safety of the woman and 5 fast-track courts were established to expedite trials for such a heinous act. The trial against all accused began within 18 days of the incident with 1,000 pages of charges filed in the court on 3rd of January 2013. Ram Singh, one of the accused, committed suicide in Tihar jail on 11th March 2013. The trial of remaining 4 accused was ongoing in Saket District Court and one juvenile trial was taking place in the Juvenile Justice Board. On August 31st, 2013, Mohammad Afroz, also known as Raju, was found guilty and sentenced under a Juvenile Justice Act to only 3 years because, according to Indian law, no minor can be sentenced more than 3 years. However, one of the accused died. One of the minor, Raju, was given a 3-year sentence and sent to a juvenile home, but the trial for the remaining 4 accused, Mukesh, Akshay, Vinay and Pawan, was still ongoing in court. These 4 made a lot of effort to save themselves. Accused Pawan Gupta claimed that he was not on the bus on that night of December 16, 2012 because he was watching a musical show at DDA Park at that night. But when investigated, it was found that there was no such show in DDA Park at that night. Besides, the accused Akshay Kumar said that he left for his village by train a day before the incident, that is on December 15, 2012. However, later one of the main witnesses of this incident, Ramadar, who was robbed in the bus before Nirbhaya, confirmed in his testimony that all 6 people were present on the bus. Therefore, Akshay's claim of leaving for his village a day before from Delhi was disapproved. Police collected all the evidence and presented to the court. The case was crucial and after about 9 months, on September 10, 2013, all 4 accused, Mukesh, Akshay, Vinay and Pawan, were found guilty of kidnapping, robbery, gang rape, murder and attempt to murder. They were sentenced to death. After this, these 4 accused appealed against the verdict in the Delhi High Court, but the High Court also upheld the death sentence. Now these people have reached the country's highest court, the Supreme Court, and filed the petition against this verdict. Meanwhile, the Juvenile Justice Board released Mohammad Afroz, also known as Raju, on December 20, 2015 after serving a 3-year sentence which caused quite a stir. However, there was no benefit in this uproar. When the case was heard in the Supreme Court, a bench of 3 judges termed this incident as tsunami of shock. The verdict of hanging Mukesh, Akshay, Vinay and Pawan was upheld and any change in this decision was denied. However, in the late 2017, Mukesh, Vinay and Pawan submitted a review petition to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court rejected their review petition on July 9, 2018. A year passed and they were not hanged. This made Nirbhaya's mother, Asha Devi, very anxious. She approaches the court in February 2019, questioning why these convicts had not been hanged yet when the Supreme Court had given the death sentence in 2017 itself, and more than 1.5 years has passed since then. The court heard Asha Devi and told her that action against these convicts will be taken soon. On 10th of December 2019, Akshay submitted a review petition to the Supreme Court. A new chapter unfolded with the legal intricacies of India. In our country, when someone is sentenced to death, even after the Supreme Court's verdict, the convict has 4 avenues to appeal for their innocence. The first is a review petition, where the convict can request the court to reconsider its decision. The second is curative petition, which assesses if the convict's rights were upheld from the lower court to the higher court. The third one is the mercy petition, where the convict appeals to the President of India for mercy and the removal of their death sentence. The last one is the rejection of the mercy plea, where the convict questions why their mercy petition was denied. When all these 4 avenues are exhausted, nobody can prevent the convict from being executed by hanging until they are deceased. These laws are created so that if there is any misjudgment by the court, it can be verified where the error occurred. This is crucial because when a person's life is at stake, such as in the case of involving the death penalty, if an innocent individual is wrongly convicted and executed, there is no way to reverse that outcome. Using this loophole, all convicts, Akshay, Pawan, Mukesh and Vinay, have attempted to evade their death sentence for many years. The convicts then tried different legal avenues like filing curative petition and mercy petition, but eventually the Supreme Court rejected all of them. The Tihar jail authorities issued a notice to the convicts giving them a week to use their legal remedies, otherwise they would proceed with their hanging. Then Akshay filed another petition seeking a stay on their hanging, but the Supreme Court dismissed Akshay's petition on December 18, 2019. Tihar jail was instructed to carry out their hanging as soon as possible. After this, the Tihar jail issued a notice to the 4 convicts asking them to use their legal option within a week, otherwise their hanging date would be set. After the notice came, none of the accused used their remaining rights, so on January 7, 2020, Delhi's Patiala House Court issued a black warrant, also known as death warrant, against all convicts, Mukesh, Akshay, Vinay and Pawan, and set the date of their hanging for January 22nd, 2020 at 7 in the morning. When the black warrant was issued, everyone was very happy, whether it was Nirbhaya's parents or the general public, and everyone started waiting for January 22nd. Just 2 days after this decision, on January 9, 2020, Mukesh and Vinay filed a curative petition in the Supreme Court because they knew that as long as their case remained in the court, they would not be hanged. But the court also dismissed Mukesh and Vinay's curative petition on January 14, 2020. So, on the same day, Mukesh sent a mercy plea to the President of India. However, on January 17, 2020, President Ramnath Kovind also rejected Mukesh's mercy plea. But because some legal rights of these co-convicts were still pending, the court had to cancel the black warrant and issue a new one, and the date of their death was fixed for February 1st, 2020 at 6 in the morning. Afterwards, all the convicts used their legal option one by one. They never exercise all their rights simultaneously so that their death sentences are delayed. As a result of this, their second black warrant was cancelled. Finally, a new black warrant was issued for all the 4 convicts for the date of March 3rd, 2020. However, the court had to cancel their third black warrant as well because there were some pending legal rights. However, on March 5th, 2020, when all their rights had expired, the court issued a new black warrant for March 20, 2020. The lawyer of these convicts, A.P. Singh, went to the Supreme Court a few hours before the hanging on March 20, 2020 and asked to stop the hanging of all these convicts. But the Supreme Court rejected all their arguments and said that they are only wasting court's time. After saying this, Supreme Court closed its door. Finally, after 7 years, 3 months and 4 days of this incident, Mukesh, Akshay, Vinay and Pawan were hanged together in Tihar jail at 5:30 in the morning on March 20, 2020. And when these convicts reached their fate, on that day, Nirbhaya's mother hugged her photo and said, "Today you have got justice." On that day, there was an atmosphere of happiness and celebration throughout the country because the fight to get justice for Nirbhaya had been going on for the past 7 years. The victory was achieved on March 20, 2020 when Nirbhaya's culprits were punished for their actions. Today we salute those people because of whom Nirbhaya got justice. Salute to the mother who never gave up and was present in every hearing from the lower court to the Supreme Court and never missed a single date. And this hadn't happened, who knows how long the punishment for these criminals' death would have lasted. Salute to Rajkumar Singh, who helped Nirbhaya and her friend on the night of December 16, 2012. And if it weren't for him, who knows how long they would have suffered in the court before reaching the hospital. And it was very likely that Nirbhaya would have lost her life even before reaching the hospital. Salute to the Delhi police team and DCP Chaya Sharma, who immediately took action on this and worked day and night to catch this culprit. So, this was the story from the beginning to the end of Nirbhaya. I hope you liked the video. If you liked my information, please like, comment and share.